All right, and the absolute last thing I want to talk to you about in terms of getting access to your tools, the right-click menu. Now, the right-click menu is handy for several different reasons. When we do the right-click menu, you get a lot of options. So we have this quick context menu that pops up and it tells us all the things that we can do to this face. But then we also have these other options, for instance, zoom, pan, rotate. Recent commands is very handy, especially if you're using kind of an obscure tool that you have to find under insert features and you don't have it mapped anywhere. You can start using it by going to the recent commands or maybe mapping a recent command. And you also have export DXF DAWG if you're selecting a flat face, very handy, especially if you're dealing with exporting to a water jet or laser cutter. Change transparency, and then you'll notice we come down here into feature options. We can add a comment to this feature. We can look at the parent-child relationship of that feature. We can configure the feature. If we have multiple configurations, we can come in here and we can extrude or suppress it. We can modify its dimension in different configurations and so on. So very handy stuff that you can see here. Saving selection. If you have a very big drawing, a very big model, whether it's an assembly or a part, and you need to use the same selection over and over again. For instance, we can select this face, and this face. We can save that selection and it shows up in your selection sets and it shows you all those faces you selected. So now every time you need to select those 3 faces, you go up into your selection set menu. You can still select them individually. You can obviously delete this stuff, remove the selection set whenever you need to. That can be very handy as well. So very important that you just take a look at what's available here, because there is a lot of stuff that's available directly at whatever your cursor position is. Everything to do from the view, from stuff dealing with curvature and zebra stripes, obviously the feature stuff I talked about, deleting bodies, looking at properties, getting into FeatureWorks, and you can customize this menu. There are some things that aren't on it. So you'll notice that when we first right-clicked, we only saw things like change transparency, comment, parent-child, and so on. Well, there are other things like go to feature and tree that we can turn on and off or delete the body. And that way when you right-click, now go to feature and tree comes on or the delete comes on. If you do it again, then you can go back down in there, expand it again, you can customize it and look at what's available, see what you need to add, see what you need to remove, because we can go in here and we can turn a lot of this stuff off. If we only want to see things like export to DXF DWG, we don't want to see change transparency, we don't want comment, we don't want all this stuff, we can turn all that off so we get a much smaller menu. All this stuff is infinitely customizable to your work process, to whatever you need, and make sure that you just play with it. Figure out what works best for you. Now, I will say this, we can save, if you set up a custom command manager, for instance, in the feature tab, I've added a few things to the side here. We can save the profile, so that way when you upgrade to 2016 of SolidWorks, you don't have to go through this process again. You can save all those custom settings. And you find that when you go to the Start menu, and you go down to SolidWorks, and you go into the SolidWorks tools, there is a copy settings wizard, and that will bring in that information based on what you do. Now for me, I actually use that as a chance to start fresh. Now I upgrade SolidWorks every year. Of course we do what's new videos and we talk about all the new stuff that's coming out. So I take that opportunity to start with a blank slate, figure out, well, hey, I really liked having move copy bodies on my feature tab, but I only used it every once in a while, so I'm going to take that off of there. Or I use that a lot, so I want to put it on my S key so that I can get to it quicker. It's a good idea to kind of refresh and reanalyze whatever your process is every year so you can make that work. Now, I'm not saying don't copy your settings. Definitely go in there, go into the SolidWorks tools, copy settings wizard, copy it every year, and that way you at least have it if you decide that, oh, well, this isn't working for me at all. I want to go back to what I was using in the last version. Then you have it there. You don't have to worry about recreating it at all. But just play around with it, figure out what works best for you, and definitely let us know if you have any questions. If you're having trouble customizing something or you want to do something special and you don't really know if it's possible or how to do it, just let us know. We'll try to help you out. We'll make some videos and get you as much information as we can. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please call us at the number listed below or email us at support@mysolidbox.com.